But before we get into some big picture stuff, can we look at some of this game? Because I think this was Coach Darden's idea. He wanted to kind of like let, because I think it's fascinating because you guys always, as soon as the game's over or the next day, you look at every play of these games and you grade it and you evaluate and what did we do right? What were we coaching there? And did they do what we were coaching and all that stuff? But there's also effort that shows up on these plays and things that people may not pay attention to or see. So you've got 3 plays here, and so we're going to take the
start the 3 that I chose. We've got a new award that we're giving out, and we'll highlight it on game days the next week. But we're calling it our Black Flag Award, and basically we've got all our offense, defense, all the awards that you see posted. But on top of those, we are giving out an award to an offense, defense, and a special teams player that just played extremely hard. So they might only have 2 snaps. They might have only been on kickoff 1 time, but there was just extreme effort. And so we're just going to highlight the 3 guys that won those awards this week.
Okay. And you can point.
So on this first play, we're looking at Deuce Johnson, who's the running back there. So you can go ahead. Deuce. So he's just got a pass route here, looking to be a check down. And at this point, and the thing is, he did this the whole game. You can rewind it one more time, Colton. So I think right when we're here, when we realize Ryan's going to scramble, a lot of guys just kind of give up on the play and stand and watch. But Deuce gets a block, and if you watch one more time again, not only does he get a block, but once he gets the block, he goes and looks for another one, leads downfield, nobody's there, so he ends up leading him into the end zone. But there's no standing around watching a play. He's full effort. And Deuce had a few of those throughout the game where he's not just a spectator. He's going to go – I used to call that an RBI when I was coaching receivers. That's an RBI. He got him into the end zone because of that block.
Like a baseball term.
Yes.
A run batted in.
Yep,
there you go.
Got him in the end zone. Yeah. So really, Deuce, he had a lot of those. He's a captain. There's a reason he's a captain for plays like that.
Yeah, he ran hard all night, but it's the things like that nobody sees that really just as important. That equals points.
It does.
That equals points. Okay, and now we're going to move on to, I believe, a special teams play.
Yep.
And I think this is where you're going to highlight some effort here.
Yeah, Blake Moore is, as you can see here, he starts there. And our kickoff is designed, if you go back one more time, Colton, and pause it there, that's great. Our kickoff is designed just like it is. This is a great spot, a great kick to start. That's a great spot for us to have it. But you notice Blake, we highlighted him. We're now about 25 yards down the field. Blake is the first one down the field. Blake played, I think he cramped up at one point in the third quarter, or he would have played every single snap on defense. I mean, he's playing every snap. But it doesn't matter. He's not taking a playoff on special team. You got to have a single-digit number. If you're a single-digit number, you got to be a starter on special teams. And so he's wearing number 4. But he just won that rep. One more time, Colton. The guy trying to kick him out, there's a guy that comes late that's trying to kick him out from across the field. He has no chance because Blake had extreme effort. And then Blake gets rewarded with a big hit. He got the big hit of the game for this play.
And I'm totally, you can't really quite see it, but I love the reaction of your sideline.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's you all know what you've been working on, and everybody over here is quite excited. So that's
Yep. But once again, it all started with extreme effort right off the bat. He doesn't know. When the ball's kicked, he has no idea if he's making a play, but he's running with extreme effort.
And that stuff's contagious.
Yeah.
This is like what you point and go, you want to know why he gets to wear a single-digit number or why he's getting to play all the time? That right there.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Next play, we're going to move on to defense, and this is another effort.
Yeah, and this is what we talk about often, that if it's in your DNA to play hard, you do it, and you may not make the play. Like if you know every time I play hard, I'm going to get an interception or I'm going to go score. Well, shoot, it's easy to play hard, but the goal is that we all 11 on the field play with extreme effort. You may make the play sometimes, you may not. So we're going to point out here Pat Garcia, who was our defensive MVP this week. He's also, again, the award winner for defense here. But he realizes plays away from him right now. And look at him sprint there's no reason, especially when you start the play, he's out at the numbers on the left side, and by the time the play's over, he's at the numbers on the far side. He didn't make the play, but maybe if a tackle's broken, something happens, he's in position to do it. And really with a lot of our guys, we've got 10 when the play ends. This is something that Coach Lynch, our defensive line coach, and then Coach Reed, they look at on certain plays. They'll blow the whistle, and they'll count how many guys are outside the hash on the play, how many of our defensive guys – the end of the play are outside the hash. We'll give Papa a little credit on this one. He was kind of banged up with his leg, but we got plays over, and we've got 10 guys that are on that side of the hash. But Pat coming all the way around, didn't make the play, but he was in position if they broke a tackle. And that's what we're looking for.
And that's the kind of stuff that you can build off of and be proud of and know that your players are listening. And that's the kind of culture thing that you've always prided your program on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And and that's the thing that the guys we highlighted, 2 of those guys are captains. Like that's how that's how captains ought to do things. They ought to lead from the front. And then Blake's a 2-year starter. And so same thing, when maybe a guy that's a young guy's watching and going, okay, these captains, these guys that have been playing a lot of varsity football, when they're playing with that effort, that's how we do it around here.